In today's video, I want to highlight Steam's next big feature. This is pretty huge, and they are trying to make any local multiplayer game, so a game that only offers local multiplayer, to also work online. It's touted for a late October launch, and it's supporting up to 4 computers and requires only 1 copy of the game. Pretty insane all around. Also, they have announced Earth Defense Force Iron Rain coming to PC on October 15th. And lastly, I do want to quickly cover a game called Pine. It's an adventure RPG, an open world action adventure RPG, I should add, that was released yesterday, getting pretty good reviews, and it kind of came out of nowhere, so I do want to highlight that game as one you should maybe add to your wish list. Alright, so first, thanks to Ars Technica, I want to go over this huge new Steam feature. On Wednesday, Steam sent a stealth news update to developers about a surprise new feature coming to Steam as soon as October 21st, Remote Play Together. The feature will specifically transform any local multiplayer video game into an online multiplayer video game, and it'll work by having the primary players stream their game to up to 3 other friends, meaning that other players won't have to buy a copy of the game to join in either. As of right now, the emailed update has been posted on a Unity development forum, and it spells out how the feature will work, along with how developers can opt into this upcoming public beta. The news was later confirmed by Valve developer Alden Kroll as authentic. Valve has yet to otherwise post its own announcement about this Remote Play Together feature. So exactly how does it work? Well, once the beta goes live, players can pull up the Steam overlay, that Shift tab that also tells you Steam hours. You can talk to friends and chat with friends that way. It's the Steam overlay. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are pretty familiar with that. And while playing a Steam game with any form of local multiplayer support, and load their friends list. Once you send a Remote Play Together invite, it's just like handing a second controller to a friend, according to the Valve email. So it's not just a game that only supports local multiplayer and doesn't support online multiplayer. It's just any game that supports local multiplayer. Now, there is a little bit of a hurdle with streaming being involved, but I still think it's a pretty cool element. I've streamed games to people on Steam before, and I've had them take control of the game. You can do that, and it's worked decently well. Definitely gotta iron out some kinks, but there's a lot of games that I feel like this could be effective with. And on a more technical level, the host computer renders the game in question while also shouldering 2 other burdens. It must stream its game video to other participants, and it must juggle all incoming buttons and commands from other players. Valve's email promises that the feature will support a 1080p video signal sent to other players at 60 frames per second refresh, although all players must have at least 10 Mbps connection for a successful low latency connection. That means you need relatively good internet. I think that goes without saying with something like this. And think about how a game like Rocket League would work. That's the one that Ars Technica specifically pointed out, and I do feel like that's a pretty good title to illustrate this feature. Using Remote Play Together, the host computer will render the game's default split-screen content, immediately stream that signal to 3 other machines, and process the other players' button taps as if their gamepads or keyboards were directly connected to the host. So yes, that is another downfall of this feature, that if it's a game with split-screen, it's still gonna be split-screen. It's not like you can stream each of the specific screens to each of the specific players. At least I don't think you could do that, because that would fundamentally change how split-screen games were designed. I'm sure that if games were designed with this feature in mind, they could get something working. However, at this point, I don't know if that's something that they are going to implement. Valve's explanatory email says that the beta will launch the week of October 21st for all users of the Steam Client beta, which can be opted into in the Steam settings menu. Anybody can get into that. So as long as a shipped Steam game includes a tag for local co-op, local multiplayer, or split screen, it will automatically be supported. After confirming that only one participating player needs to own a particular game, Valve's email offers an assurance in terms of game sales. We don't believe it's feasible to use Remote Play Together to avoid purchasing games on Steam entirely, and like other promotional tools and features, we believe the additional exposure and fun players have will lead to additional revenue and player growth. I really agree with that statement. There are so many things that you would inherently think would affect game sales because it offers accessibility to a game in a lot easier of a way. However, I point to something like Game Pass. Phil Spencer actually went out and said that games like Sea of Thieves and Crackdown 3 sold better than they had internally expected because the game was on Game Pass. And how it works is people are just seeing other people be more engaged to a game. Engagement overall, if people are playing a game and a game is being received well, if there's positive PR going around, then that game is just going to cater towards more people. That's why you want more people playing the game, just for that positive reception going around the internet and whatever the case may be. Just hearing other people talking about it, that's how a lot of games get around. It's by word of mouth, and the more people are engaged to a game, the better it is. So that's just my 2 cents on that, but this is a really cool feature. I don't know how many people are going to utilize it based on the fact that you do need some high quality internet. However, something that's just being added to Steam's repertoire of features, I think this is great. Steam is of course a free platform, and for them to have features like this, I think it goes a long way, and it just goes to show that Steam above all is making some sizable improvements. So good stuff all around, and local multiplayer again will be out by the week of October 21st. Alright, outside of that, I do want to cover two other things really quickly. Earth Defense Force Iron Rain is coming to PC on October 15th. It is an EDF title, and if you guys are unfamiliar with Earth Defense Force, the games are so zany, so much fun, and I'm excited for this one to head on over to Steam as well. It's been out on PlayStation 4 for a little while. If you guys are unfamiliar with EDF, it is a third-person shooter that you should not be taking all too seriously. You fight giant insects, giant mechs. It's so off the wall, but it offers that arcade fun that a lot of games are missing these days. And it notes, Save the World Without Hope, Year 2040, an action third-person shooter where you will become one of the EDF soldiers and fight against the invaders from outer space which ruined the world. In the world settings, which differs from the original EDF series, more than 50 missions and 5 difficulties await. And I should note, as far as Iron Rain goes, it does have a little bit more of a serious tone than other EDF titles, but it's still got that zany premise to it. I mean, you've got giant insects that you're battling. It gets a little crazy, and again, you've got north of 50 missions and 5 difficulties, 4 mobile soldiers and weapons, bringing personality to the battlefield. It includes a character creation mode, where you can select your favorite gender, face, hairstyle, weight, voice, and outfit, and enrich offline and online mode. And how about this? When playing the offline mode, the split screen will be supported, and also when playing the online mode, you can co-op with other EDF members around the world. So this is a game that I would think would be perfect for something like Steam Play Together, because this is a game that not everybody is going to want to drop the $40 or $50 on right away. However, if you stream it to a friend and you guys are playing it together through the split screen, I think that could be a cool way for both of you guys to play the game without both people having to drop $40 or $50 on the game, just because this is one of those games that I don't think everybody is going to be up in arms to buy right away. Maybe on a sale, maybe when it's a part of Humble Monthly or whatever the case may be, but right away at a full price, yes, some people are going to buy it, but I do think it's going to be a tough asking price. But nonetheless, EDF is a great series, and I'm excited to see Iron Rain head to PC come October 15th. And lastly, I do want to highlight a new game called Pine. It's an open-world action-adventure game set in a simulated world in which humans never reach the top of the food chain. This has been in development for quite a while. I remember hearing about the game back in like early 2017, so now it's finally out. It's priced at $22.49 right now. It is typically $24.99, but a special promotion until October 17th. And the game is touted to be an open-world action-adventure simulation game set in the beautiful world of Albemarle. You take on the role of Hugh, a smart young adult who will have to explore, trade, and fight his way through a vibrant world filled with creatures much smarter than humans. Visually and presentation style, it reminds me a lot of The Legend of Zelda. I highly doubt that it's going to be at that quality level. However, it does look like an interesting game. Maybe not one that you'll want to pick up right away, but one to keep on your wish list and see how it turns out from there, maybe at a deeper discount or whatever the case may be. Currently, as far as the Steam reception goes, 122 Steam user reviews, 77% positive, so relatively decent as far as that's concerned. Not the best in the world, but again, 77% positive based on a small sample size of reviews. I think that's pretty good. System requirements aren't anything too crazy. Quad-core 3.2 GHz or equivalent is minimum. Minimum is 8 gigs of RAM and NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660, and all you need is 4 gigabytes of storage space. Recommended isn't even that much higher than the minimum. Quad-core 3.4 GHz or equivalent, 8 gigabytes of RAM, once again recommended, and then an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970, so a substantial upgrade as far as GPU goes, but everything else is pretty comparable in terms of minimum and recommended requirements. So that's gonna conclude this video. Again, I really want to hear from you guys. Do you have any interest in this new big feature coming from Steam with making local multiplayer games work online, essentially streaming your game to a friend, and then you guys can play split screen, or you can play a fighting game, or I don't know how well a fighting game would really work, given the fact that, you know, fighting games are really based on input latency and all that, and if that gets out of whack, that's gonna be really hard. In terms of a game that's like a party card game or something like that, that's gonna work relatively well, but other titles are going to be a little bit more difficult and harder to implement. Earth Defense Force Iron Rain is coming to PC on October 15th. Excited for that. And Pine is out right now on Steam, a game to add to your wish list. So that's going to wrap up this one. If you guys have a request for a future video, leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button, so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.